The 2023 Mr. Olympia review, top 5. Here we go. 5th place, Andrew Jacked. Okay, Andrew took home $35,000 for his 5th place finish. Andrew is improving every time he gets on stage. Andrew has the absolute best structure out of everyone on that stage. He's the widest guy on that stage. He's the tallest guy on that stage. Andrew has all the tools to become Mr. Olympia. What Andrew is missing is, as simple as it might sound, it's not that simple. Andrew is missing hams and glutes. Hams and glutes and a little bit more leg development in the front. A little bit more quads, but mostly hams and glutes. If he can get another 5 to 6 to 7 pounds of muscle, especially in the lower body, fill out those glutes, fill out those hamstrings, everything else is there. When you compare Andrew's body to everybody else's, symmetry, structure, muscularity, everything is there. What Andrew needs is that finishing touch. He needs to continue to work with Aceto. Aceto knows what he's doing. He's one of the best gurus, one of the best docs, one of the best coaches out there, okay? Listen to Chris. Chris knows what he's doing. Psycho Lewis is doing his job too. Andrew does not have a burly bone, one of those dense-ass structures where he can be throwing about 6,000 pounds and, front squatting 600 pounds. No, that's not Andrew. Andrew is more like a Vince Taylor type. Vince Taylor never trained super heavy, but he was also one of the most impressive bodybuilders that ever stepped on the IFBB stage. Andrew needs to continue to keep doing what he's doing. I think he should have been in that call out with the top 4 guys at the end of prejudging and at the finals at the confirmation. I really think that he should have been in there. I saw that in his face. He got pissed off. He didn't like the fact that he was not called out with the 4 in the morning. I can understand that, Andrew, but you know what, brother? Keep doing what you're doing. I'm a fan. And I know you're going to be dangerous. One of the most dangerous guys on the planet right now in the IFBB. Andrew Jacked, 5th place. 4th place, Brandon Curry. Brandon took home $40,000. Brandon, what can we say about Brandon? For God's sakes, man, he didn't eat for like 12 hours, maybe even more. He had to fast because he had a medical procedure that he needed done because he was puking blood. 2 days before the show. He had some issues. He had some medical issues. He had some issues in his esophagus. They had to take care of him. They had to make sure that he's all right. He had to get the green light, or the IFBB wasn't even going to let him compete. Brandon, an absolute warrior, an absolute warrior. I have more respect for Brandon than I used to have tons of respect for him before. I have more respect for him now. Brandon Curry, just an absolute warrior. One of the most beautiful bodies on that stage. Symmetry, beautiful. Just shape, round muscles. Improved leg size. His legs are getting better to match that superior upper body. And even from the back, which was my criticism from before. I used to always say, hey, Brandon, your legs are from the front. They're catching up a little bit. But as soon as he turned around, they got narrow and they didn't match his upper body. This year, they were getting better. Abdullah did his job. I was actually communicating with Abdullah leading up to the show. I knew what was coming. I was getting pictures that people weren't getting, so I knew the thunder that was coming. And think about it, y'all. Just seriously sit down and think about it. All the stuff that he went through, and he's still 4th in the world. That is amazing. That's a testament to how good Brandon Curry really is. Brandon Curry, you're an absolute warrior. 4th place. 3rd place, Samson Dauda. Woo! Boy, oh boy, people. Samson took home $100,000. I was in constant communication with Milos throughout this whole Olympia prep. Milos was giving me updates on Samson all the time, asking me to keep it to myself, which I did. I might share the pictures here and there with a Palumbo or somebody who I trust that's going to keep everything on the down low, but I kept everything to myself. I knew what was coming. And I had a lot of conversations with Milos, and I said to him, Milos, people just don't understand how much pressure you're under, because the whole world is telling you to bring him in dry. How many people said? I said that to him. And believe me, I used to torture Milos all the time. Just kept sending him text messages, bringing him in dry. But he knew that I was effing with him. But everyone was telling him to bring him dry. Okay. Samson Dauda, 6'2", and the morning of the show, 300 pounds. 6'2", 300 pounds. Folks, that is an absolute Godzilla monster. Samson is from another planet, okay? And to me, he was the most complete bodybuilder on that stage. And that's just not me saying it. You know, we did the RX Muscle, you know, the prejudging and the wrap-up. I said that. Lee Priest said that. Amin said that. Armin said that. Dennis Wolf said that. Cormier. You know, everybody, Flex Wheeler, everyone pretty much says that Samson Dauda is the most complete bodybuilder on that stage. We each have our views on, you know, some weak points, and maybe he needs to work on this, or his skin is a little bit too thick and got to get him a little bit thinner, conditioning, all that stuff. Folks, you got to put all that stuff together, okay? Once you put all of that shit together, you start to understand what a complete bodybuilder is. There's nothing wrong with Samson, okay? He is a complete IFBB pro. He's getting better. Every show that he does, again, he's another Andrew Jack. He's getting better and better each show he does. It's just amazing that what he's accomplished so far so fast. I mean, how fast is this guy rocking it to the absolute top of the IFBB? All right, so here's my pick for next year's Mr. Olympia, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because I had a conversation with him immediately after the Olympia, and I asked him if he's going to rest. And his answer to me was what Cutler used to say: "No, I'm back in the gym Monday. I'm back in the gym Monday. I'm going. This is mine. I want it." I mean, this guy, he can taste it. Now, you know, he's got a whiff of the meat. So he smelled the meat. It's right there. And he wants that meat, and he's going for it. I mean, listen, folks, Samson is going to be very, very hard to beat. He just, you know, I'm recording this video after everybody else has done their reviews, because I wanted to make sure that I see what happened in Romania. Well, he won Romania, okay? So I'm going to get into that for another show, but he's going, man. This man has the wind behind him, and he is going. Samson, I have a couple pictures. I'm going to post a picture here, and I want you guys to see right now. Check this picture out. This is correct lighting. No smoke, no shades, no background messing. This is a flash that went off that showed exactly what the conditioning was supposed to look like to everybody. Check this picture out. Back double bicep shot against Hadi Choopan. Look at the detail of Samson when the lighting is correct. Folks, this is how important lighting is. When you have correct lighting, you can see everything. Samson is extra dark. He's Wesley Snipes dark. What that does is it washes him out when there's not correct lighting. If Samson got on stage with the Iron Man Pro lighting, he would be the scariest human being on this planet. Here's my advice to the IFBB. Here's my advice to Dan Solomon and Jake Wood. Hire John Ballack. Get him to come, and get Michael Nephew to come. The combination of Ballack and Nephew, make them do the lighting. Put them in charge of the production of the lighting, and this will be the 30th. The next year, the anniversary of the Mr. Olympia is coming up. It will be the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time, because the lighting issue will be fixed. Just my 2 cents. I had to say it. Had to get it out. Okay. Samson Dauda, you're amazing, brother. And I'm happy that I was able to inspire you, and we became friends. Now it's time to put the blinders back on and go for it. I'm picking you as next year's Mr. Olympia. Second place, Hadi Choopan. Hadi took home $150,000. Okay. Let's talk about Hadi, because this is a very controversial thing, especially for me, being the fact that I'm from Iran. There's a cultural issue happening here, folks. There's something going on with the Iranian people, and it's not a good thing. And I call them out on it. And so many other people, after the harassment and all the crap that they put Derek through, I call them out, they call them out. Now the whole world is calling him out now. Listen, I understand how passionate people can get, okay? But there's no reason to cross borders and cross boundaries and get personal and think that there's a conspiracy. What the what are you talking about? There's no conspiracy. And you come after me because I'm Persian, because I'm an Iranian male. I called it like it is. As a matter of fact, after prejudging, when everybody had their picks, I said, I don't know. It's too close. It's a three-man race. Any one of them could win it. I have to see the confirmation come back that night. That's what I said. Now, the problem is the Iranian people think that because I'm Iranian, it doesn't matter if this guy is a rapist, he's a killer, he's a mass murderer, he's whatever the hell he is. I have to back him because he's Iranian. Nah, man, that's not how it works, people. I'm sorry. You back. I was a part of the RX Muscle team, and we were doing our jobs. And I will never, ever BS anybody. I will say it exactly like it is. You know what comes with me. I've always been like this, and I'm always going to stay like this. So bear with it, folks. So let's go. Hadi Choopan. From the front, he was Mr. Olympia. His front shots are amazing. He's got that deep, crispy conditioning, that Persian conditioning. I had that same type of conditioning. I know what it's all about. A lot of Persians have that type of conditioning. It's a genetic thing. From the front, he was Mr. Olympia. His overall conditioning was around 88%, 90%. He was not 100% when it came to his conditioning. Even the psychos in Iran will have to fucking admit to that and say, okay, you're right, King. His conditioning wasn't the greatest like we're used to seeing. We're all used to seeing Hadi next level. From the front, he was. I'll give him that, especially when they came back for the night show. From the front, his conditioning was excellent and it was up to par to what we're used to seeing from Hadi. But not from the side, not from the back. Okay, folks? He got beat because of the side and the back. You have to come to that realization. And I'm going to explain at the very end exactly what I mean by that. And I'm going to break it down for you so you really understand why and how it was judged. Okay, so bear with me, please. Okay, his color was off. Usually, Hadi is dark. His color is the best on stage. It wasn't. It was a tad off. And then his posing at the night show. That was not a posing routine, folks. That was a guest posing routine. When you come, you go to this side of the stage, hit a couple of most muscular shots. You go onto this side of the stage, you hit a couple of shots and a most muscular shot, and then you walk off stage. That is not a posing routine, okay? A posing routine is what Samson did. A posing routine is what Derek did. Those are posing routines. That's why they got rewarded for what they did. Hadi Choopan, if he can bring back his crazy conditioning from the side and from the back and come back with that amazing color that he normally does, he will be one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to be Mr. Olympia again next year. Hadi Choopan, second place. First place and the new Mr. Olympia, Mr. Derek Lunsford. Derek took home a big-ass check of $400,000. Congratulations, Derek. Okay, it was the best Derek to date. He was more complete, much improved back. Much improved back. He really worked his ass off, and it showed when he hit that back double bicep shot. No one on this planet as of 2023, just this year, can match him in the back double bicep shot. That is his shot. That's lights out, game over, baby. That back double bicep is yours, Derek. Okay. He was the crowd favorite. It was obvious. He was the people's champ. He got his belt. And his back shots sealed the deal. Now, you got to understand something, folks. They always say, you win from the back. You win from the back. That's true. Okay, to a certain degree, that's true. All great Mr. Olympias had amazing backs. I think, in my opinion, the only Mr. Olympia that never really had a unbelievable dominating back was Sean Roden. But that was just a fluke year. That was a year where it's a lot of things went his way. All the stars were lined up for him. And, you know, may he rest in peace. But he's the only one I can think of. All other Mr. Olympias had dominating backs. We're going to add another one with Derek. Dominating back. He was soft from the front. Derek is Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde when it comes from the front and back. Okay? From the front shots, he was getting beat. His most muscular, his front double bicep, his front lat spread, his ab thigh. Okay, they're all beatable. Okay, they're all beatable. He was just took over everybody because, again, the more completeness, the hardness, the dryness, all that stuff came into play. And again, the people's champ, and he's just a good guy, a good representative, all that stuff. You want to put it all into one basket. He deserved the Mr. Olympia win. Derek Lunsford, first place Mr. Olympia. Okay. Now, we're going to go over a last bit of controversy. I'm going to make sure you guys understand this. Okay. Let me tell you how the judging works. Everybody's like, Hadi should have won. Then somebody else, then half the other people are saying Derek should have won. It's Hadi, Derek, Hadi, Derek. Okay, let me explain it. We're going to go pose for pose, okay? Front double bicep. I'm going to tell you, I called it even, all right? Hadi is extremely, extremely superior from the front shots. Not that superior this year, especially in the front double bicep. They both had strengths and weaknesses. Front double bicep, even. Now remember, we're just talking about Derek and Hadi right now. Front lat spread, I give to Hadi. Derek has a weak front lat spread. His lats don't show. Legs aren't as hard. And Hadi, just a dominant pose for him. So we give that one to Hadi. Side tricep, side chest. Both side shots I give to Derek. Slightly. It's a slight advantage, but it's going to be lean towards Derek. Why? Because Hadi was at 90% conditioning. He wasn't popping like he does, and his color was off. Derek, at his all-time best, dry, grainy, and he was full as a house from the side. Improvements were visible. Okay? So what do we have now? We have 2 Derek, 1 Hadi. Because the front double bicep canceled itself out. Now we go to the back shots. Back double bicep. Derek, lights out. Not even close. Back lat spread. Close. Okay, it was close. But I still give it to Derek because of the conditioning in the glutes and hams. Okay? Now, what do we have now? So that is even, 1 for Hadi, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have 4-1. Okay? We're at 4-1. Let's go to the most muscular and the abs. Okay? Most muscular is Hadi. Abs, Hadi. So now you have 4-3. Okay? That's why the judges lean towards Derek. It was extremely close, but still Derek edged them out 4-3. Now, we'll make it a little bit more interesting. Symmetry. Let's throw symmetry. So that was the muscularity rounds, okay? The compulsories. Let's go to symmetry. Who's got better symmetry, Hadi or Derek? I would say Derek. Smaller waist, better V-taper. He's got a better overall look. Hadi is more compact with a wider waist. Symmetry, we give to Derek. So now we have 5-3. Conditioning. This is where it gets very interesting. Conditioning. Derek, from the side, a little bit. From the back, dominant. From the front, Hadi. What does that say? 2 cancel out, 1 more to Derek. So now we have 6-3. Okay? 6 for Derek, 3 for Hadi. And then you seal the deal, cherry on top of the cake, put the icing down, whatever you want to call it, posing at night. That counts, folks. The judges look at these things. They look at the whole thing, the whole package. Like I said, Hadi did a guest posing routine. He went from this side of the stage to this side of the stage. Derek did an actual posing routine, and he's closed the show, punched the stage, got up. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. The judges aren't blind. They hear it. They see it. They see all the emotions. They feel it too. So that's 6-3, 7-3 now. All right, so there you go. That's why Derek won. That's how I saw it, and I guarantee you that's how a lot of other people, especially the heads of the IFBB, the judges saw it too. There you go, folks. An explanation of why Derek beat Hadi. All right, folks. So now some special King Kamali awards. All right. So most muscular, Samson Dauda. Come on, guys. That's not even close. Okay. 6'2", 300 pounds. Samson Dauda, most muscular man on that stage. Best poser. Going to go with Samson again. Samson has a classical routine. He knows how to hit his shots. He knows how to get the most out of his body. For a 6'2", 300-pounder, he's got great symmetry, small waist, flows with the posing, with the classical posing that he does. Excellent. Best poser, I'll give that to Samson too. BMF award. If you don't know what BMF stands for, it means bad mother beep, okay? BMF award goes to Brandon Curry. No man can tell me any different. Puking blood to being fourth in the world. Give me a break, guys. Brandon Curry, you are one bad mother, you know what, man. Boom. And we're going to finish up the 2023 Mr. Olympia with my X Factor. X Factor, Nick Walker. If Nick Walker was in the show, we would be talking about everything. Everything would have been changed. Everything from the placings, to maybe the People's Champ, to who had the best back double bicep shot. Everything that we just discussed would have been turned upside down because of Nick Walker. I'm so devastated, even though I said some things and I said, I really didn't have him winning the show and all that stuff. And he got a little mad at me. He sent me a text message and said, I'll show you, and it was all, I understand. And my response to him was, Nick, I'm glad I can fire you up. I'm glad that I lit a fire under your ass and made you train even harder, okay? That's good. That's what bodybuilding is supposed to be all about. So if Nick Walker was in the show, things would have been completely, completely different. Just wanted to throw that in there so we understand. But in general, great Mr. Olympia. Good job, Dan Solomon. Good job, Jake Wood. Bob Ciccarello, you killed it like you always do. And, hey, guys, it's going to be a very interesting year. I can't wait for the Arnold Classic. And we'll be back in Vegas for 2024. I will be there, and it's going to be amazing. This was a great Mr. Olympia. I'm out of here. Peace.